Hey guys, welcome to Sports Shorts, opinionated sports talk. Today we're going to be talking about the 2017 Baseball Hall of Fame induction. There's a lot of guys on the ballot, a lot of big names, and there's potentially a lot of people getting elected this year, maybe even 5, 6, or 7 players, which could be absolutely insane. No one's really seen anything like that for the Hall of Fame in a while. So I thought I'd put my 2 cents into it. I thought I'd say who I'm going to be voting in. If I had a vote, obviously the system's broken, but that's for another video. But if I had a vote, who I'd be voting in, why I'm voting these players in, and why I'm leaving a few players off. So to start off, I'm just going to say I'm not voting for any steroid users. I feel like it's a little slap to the face for the game, throw these players into the Hall of Fame. And plus, I've been to the Hall of Fame before. I've been to Cooperstown. It's not like these players are sort of omitted from baseball and they're never heard of again. There's Barry Bonds artifacts, there's Roger Clemens artifacts in the Hall of Fame. People argue about Pete Rose not being in the Hall of Fame. There's a whole wall dedicated to Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame with his face plastered everywhere. So people can't say that he's not in the Hall of Fame. He's there. He just doesn't have a plaque. If you went there, you'd know who these players are. You know who they are. So that's why I'm not voting for any of them. I really don't see a point in voting for these cheaters. They get paid millions of dollars after they cheat anyway, even after they're proven. And I don't think I'd have the courage and the heart to do that. So we're going to start off here. I voted for the maximum amount that you can, which is 10. To start off, Jeff Bagwell, who was a great power-speed combo at first base for the Houston Astros for many, many years. Teammates with another Hall of Famer, Craig Biggio, who had 3,000 hits. Bagwell didn't really quite match up. They sort of entered the Hall of Fame balloting at the same time. But Biggio obviously having 3,000 hits, which is sort of a major milestone. He got more attention compared to Bagwell. But, Bagwell, he's had a little bit of steroid suspicion as well, which might have hurt his chances. There's nothing even concrete about it, so, he's probably going to get in this year, I think. So far, through about 35% of the vote, he's got about 90% of voters that are voting him in, so Bagwell should get in, no problem. Next up, we have Tim Raines. He's a Montreal Expos former outfielder, joined by, those great outfields with Larry Walker and Marquise Grissom in center field. Great speed threat. He had a little bit of pop in his bat too, but he could change the game with his speed and had a lot of stolen bases that are really record-setting. Not record-setting, but up there with record setters like Lou Brock and Ricky Henderson. He's probably the third guy when you think about those types of guys who could change the game with their speed in the modern game. It's his last year on the ballot as well, and he's probably going to get in because a lot of voters are thinking, oh, it's his last year, he should probably get in. So, next up, we have Pudge Rodriguez, who is one of the greatest defensive catchers of all time. Had one of the strongest arms that you'll ever see from behind the plate. Pop time, which is absolutely fantastic. I've never really seen anything like it. When I used to play catcher, I always try and look at him and wonder how the hell he was able to do all the things he did behind the plate. He was absolutely fantastic. Again, another bit of steroid suspicion, but nothing concrete. And he was also great offensively, so Pudge Rodriguez gets in there easily. Next up is Vlad Guerrero, the guy who leads all Dominican-born players in hits, 2,500, or he did. I'm not sure if he still does, but he had that record for a little bit. Could hit anything that was thrown at him, even if it was in the dirt. I don't know if any of you have seen that video. You can just look it up, and he was playing for the Angels, I think, at the time, and the ball hit the ground, and he still hit it to the left field for a base hit. Absolutely insane. And he had a cannon for an arm as well, so Vladimir Guerrero is a guy who should definitely be in my opinion. Next up is Trevor Hoffman. He was a great relief pitcher and at one time saves leader. Got about 600 before Mariano Rivera came in and stole that the next year, but Trevor Hoffman's a great relief pitcher. A lot of people are sort of omitting him from their ballots just because he's a relief pitcher. Ignore my cat. I'm so sorry. But just because he's a relief pitcher, people are taking him off the ballot because of his role, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's not his fault. The team wanted to use him as a relief pitcher, and he did great results being a relief pitcher. So I don't see why he should be eliminated from the vote. Trevor Hoffman, he's on my ballot. Next up is Mike Mussina, a great starting pitcher. He was stuck in the AL East, which might have, made his numbers a little inflated because he had to play against the Red Sox, the Orioles, also had to pitch against the Yankees. So, he had a tough go of it. But his numbers are really comparable to guys who are in the Hall of Fame, like Louis Tiant. I think his numbers are almost identical, and he's in, no problem. So I don't see why Mussina shouldn't. Next up is Edgar Martinez, who, like Hoffman, has sort of omissions from certain voters because he's a DH. If he was in the National League, he'd get in like that because, no one would care about his defense because he was such a good hitter. That's the only reason people were voting for him. He had a 300 average. He was a better hitter than a lot of the guys in those Mariner lineups from the late 90s, like Jay Buhner, Ken Griffey Jr. All those guys can compare to Edgar Martinez because he was just such a wizard with the bat. Next up is Fred McGriff. And a lot of people aren't going to vote for Fred McGriff, and it's unfortunate. I don't think he's going to get in, but he had crazy numbers for first base. And if he was a first baseman in the 70s or 80s, he'd get in instantly because his numbers are so good. But since he was playing up against guys like Bonds and Sosa, who are getting all this recognition, 600 home runs, crazy home run seasons, doing it all tainted, Fred McGriff did it all clean, had 400-something homers, plenty of RBIs, a great hitter. He should definitely be in my opinion. Next up, our last hitter is Larry Walker, former right fielder for the Expos, Rockies, and Cardinals at one point. The reason that he's probably not going to get in, is because he played his games at Coors Field, most of them, not most of them, some of them, and people are going to think his numbers are tainted due to the thin air in Mile High, but his splits for the home and road are quite similar, so I really don't see a problem with it. It's not his fault that the stadium he played in played so well to hitters. I don't think it's really fair that you can just eliminate him from the vote due to that. It's not cheating like Barry Bonds and Sosa. I don't really see a problem with it. If people vote Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa into the Hall of Fame, but they don't vote Larry Walker, it's ridiculous, and I really think their voting rights should be revoked because it's stupid. It really is. And my final guy is Lee Smith, another great relief pitcher like Hoffman. It's his last year on the ballot, just like Tim Raines, and I don't know if he's going to get in. He really deserves to get in. I think he was also a Saves of the Year at one point, a great closer, but I don't know if he's going to get the support he needs. It's such a shame. 15 years on the ballot, and he's never going to see the element. But that's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry about the cat. I'll try to do better next time, but it's late, so I gotta get this done. But thanks again, guys.